House prices around the UK are set to rise next year because of a shortage of homes. A new report shows London, of course, will still see the biggest rise, followed by the East of England and East Midlands, where a home worth £200,000 will set you back an extra £20,000 next year. But all areas will see the value of homes go up, including parts of northern England, which up to now have seen the slowest growth. Well, we're joined now by property expert Henry Pryor, and it always depends where you are, you know, in terms of your finances, in terms of your living circumstances, whether this is good news or bad news. Generally, it feels like it might be going the wrong way too quickly.
Well, it always depends on whether you're a buyer or a seller, of course. Remember that we've got millions of people who'd like to get on the housing ladder, and ever-rising house prices may be great for those who already own their own home, but for those who aspire to do so, it's another year, I suspect, in 2014 of bad news for those that want to.
Is that why there aren't enough sellers at the moment? People are sitting tight because property prices are rising?
Well, I think that actually probably there are few houses to sell at the moment simply because it's very, very expensive to transact. When you look at the taxes that the government levies on home movers, stamp duty, for example, a very slab-like tax, a very expensive tax for those that want to move, particularly those in London and the South East who have very high house prices to start with. That's a big disincentive for anybody, and people really only want to move if they've actually got a good reason to do so.
I mean, I know quite a few couples with kids who are in rented accommodation and are really, really trying to save and trying to do what they can. Of course, there's no interest rates on your savings anyway. But talk to us about the Help to Buy scheme, because for people who want to get on the housing ladder, that's what it was for. Is it working or not? Well,
it's interesting. Is it Help to Buy or is it Help to Sell? And many people are actually pointing out that it's vendors, those who are selling, who are getting the extra money and seeing the benefits of...
In what way?
Well, because Help to Buy is effectively giving more money or access to more credit to people who want to buy the limited number of properties that there are for sale. So all we're doing really is giving people more money, which they are inevitably and quite understandably giving to those who are selling in order to persuade them to sell their properties to these people. So it's difficult.
Yeah, also, Henry, I mean, Ranvir mentioned interest rates there. With unemployment dropping quicker than we thought, Mark Carney might have to put up interest rates sooner than he thought as well. So that would be a double whammy. The market's a bit slow, things are expensive, and mortgages could become more pricey as well in the next year.
Well, it's one of the great big uncertainties for anyone looking to foolishly, perhaps, as you're asking me to do, to talk about prices in 2014. Very difficult to understand exactly what the implications of what you've just said are going to be on the market. We're optimistic for the next 504 days ahead of the next general election that house prices will creep ever higher. But what happens after that, and what might Governor Mark Carney do in order to remove and take the heat out of the housing market if, as you say, unemployment falls as predicted?
Do you sense another boom and bust coming?
Well, there's this extraordinary sense of déjà vu, isn't it?
Yes.
We've got mortgage indemnity guarantees which underpin Help to Buy too. We've got a lot of people chasing a finite number of properties, although the government, the coalition government, should be congratulated on some of the efforts that they are making to free up the housing market. Imagine what would be happening if what we'd be talking about if the house prices were actually falling. There's a great deal of 2006 and 2007, just ahead of the credit crunch, that we can see in the market today. At the end of the day, we have to remember, asking prices may be up, sale prices in some parts of the country may be up, but they're still, according to the Land Registry anyway, 10% below where they were at the peak of the market in 2007.
All right, thanks very much, Henry.